I guess this is another Hall of Fame product here in the Nutnfancy project. And as TMPers know, that's saying a lot. My faith in it after years of hard use is completely unshaken. My confidence intact. I am a believer. And even as 2012 comes to an end, I say still that for most, not all, but most activities, the best all-around glove made in the world is the Mechanix original glove. Hall of Famer here in the Nutnfancy project. Hey guys, Nutnfancy, another glove review in 2012. I've been doing them here and there since 2008 when I am motivated to do them. And to get me motivated, I gotta find a glove or a set of gloves that just rock. These set the standards, and they have for years here in the Nutnfancy project. In all the things that count, value for one is that they're not overly expensive. I reviewed in '08 several tactical gloves from all types of different makers. Several of them exceeded $50 in price. When I hooked into the original, you get the black version, these are in Coyote Tan, you get the black, they're called the Stealth, original Stealth glove. I pretty much lost interest to look at other gloves, to be honest with you guys. And that's what you've seen here in the Nutnfancy project. You've seen me adventuring with these gloves for years now, since 2009. So several of my crew and family wear them too. I mean, this pair right here has been through so many adventures. Multiple tactical shooting, run and gun adventures. That's why the fingertips are wore out. Lots of reloading. I mean, that's to be expected. Normal wear and tear. Let's see, Llama Trek. There's that same pair I showed you a few months back with another glove review. Still wearing some llama here and there. Performance driving, shop projects, backpacking, woodscraft, knife work. Yeah, these gloves have come along for the ride here in TMP. They're not suited for every activity, and that's what I led off with. For most activities, they're suited. And I am a glove person. I advocate glove use for lots of reasons that I've talked about before here on camera. They protect your hands, for one. Your pink and delicate hands that can get cut and damaged. And if that happens up there in the woods, you're in a bad way, my friend. So wear some type of glove. They're so lightweight, they're compact, they're easy to carry along, even on wilderness adventures. They maintain dexterity in cooler temperatures when it gets really cold. Maybe not so much, I'm talking about the original glove. And they just give you more, I think, gripping strength in those types of conditions. Just like you saw in the shoot with Tactical Solutions Snowblind. I think it was in early 2011. So this pair has seen a lot of wear and tear. They're still going strong, albeit, I don't know, fingertips wore out. They're standard setting for all those reasons. And most importantly, check it, the fit. That's what I love most about Mechanix gloves. And they're known for that. Anatomical, there's no excess fabric in the webs of your fingers. They have Lycra side panels on the fingers. Not this version, the other ones I'm going to show you will. And they just fit so well. So that means you can do a lot of different tasks with them, to include working your cell phone. These will actually do that. No, not with that. I'm talking just with a finger. You can do it. Shooting, loading, just like you've seen. The good news is these gloves are going to have some competition, not from another manufacturer, but from Mechanix themselves. And they're going to pretty much launch right into Hall of Fame status here in TMP. I have 3 different versions of Mechanix gloves to show you, and they're all excellent. And they will modify the capabilities of the original. I'm going to start off, I guess, with these ones right here. Try it in the center. These are called the Fastfit gloves. Guess I should wear them and model them. Hand model again. By way of reference, by the way, let me get the weight right. These are 2.6 ounces for a large pair. There's nothing fancy with the weight thing again. It's my mission in life. Always keep track of the weight, especially when your systems are heavy. You're carrying lots of capabilities. The Fastfit glove, as you can see, doesn't have a Velcro closure. They're meant, just like the name implies, to be put on quickly. That might be helpful if your hands are damp, and that's what I find. I really didn't test these particular gloves. I have these hundreds of times in damp conditions. you can put them on, not a big deal. It might be just a little bit easier with the Fastfit gloves. These are lighter still than the originals, 1.8 ounces. The same level of dexterity and fit that you see in the original are going to be in the Fastfit. And these are the Lycra side panels I was talking about. So they actually will stretch to form fit to your fingers, whether skinny, medium sized, fat, whatever. They'll do it. And just like the originals, they feature that synthetic leather, which I am a huge fan of, and that's Clarino, I think is the name brand of that. So if it gets wet, it won't stay wet forever. Great comfort, great anatomical fit. Look at this. These are like slip-on gloves, and there's no excess. Not in the web, not on the back, nowhere. These would be great driving gloves as well. These would be excellent gloves if you're going to be taking them on and off a lot. Maybe even with the dexterity that these afford, it's not enough. You got to still take your gloves off. You might look into these. Synthetic suede, again, on the palm and stuff. These are the Fastfit. They come in different colors. In fact, pretty much all the gloves I'm going to show you come in different colors. These are like a mossy oak camo. Fastfit. Love them. Just love them. They're excellent. These are called the Mechanix Original, nice throw, Original Vent Covert. I got to tell you too, the names are confusing to me. Even on the original, I think when I reviewed it, I don't even know if I called it the original. Here's a new pair I'll show you before the vid ends. I was like, I don't know. They're just Mechanix gloves in Coyote Tan. They're awesome. I sent you guys Amazon to score them. They're awesome, but the names just boggle my mind. These are the Original Vent Covert. I guess they're covert because they're black. Whatever. Now these are a hot weather version of the Mechanix original glove. You can see on the back there's a lot more ventilation. And I did want to show you on the newer version of the original, they have basically redesigned the entire glove. So here's the old one with the elastic strap right here. Now it has a rubberized strap. That adds a little weight. Just saying. Still Velcro closed right here. I have a pair I've worn. I didn't bring them to the table tonight. And then the finger's been redesigned a little bit. And stiffer. And thicker fabric on the back. There's almost like a little bit of insulation on the back of even the original. So these are, I can tell you right now, shooting in the hot desert conditions, these will be warmer than the older version. And Mechanix, I hope you make this in Coyote, because I think this would be a great hot weather shooting glove right here. They're basically just a ventilated and lightened original glove. You can see the perforations in the Clarino palm right there. Same fit as before. The famous Mechanix glove fit. This is their new wrist strap right here, as opposed to the elastic one like I was just mentioning. It works fine. Just great fit. I drove with these both at the track and the 350Z during some racing. They work great. I've biked with them and I've shot with them, and I'll say they pass with flying colors. So that is the original Vent Covert. Nutnfancy, would you buy that glove? Absolutely, without hesitation. I do wish they offer it in different colors like the Coyote, and I'd also like to see it in lime and orange. Just some wild racing colors. I don't know, that's just me. Here comes one that I think TMPers are just going to totally dig. I've used this one. Out of all the three that I'm reviewing now, I've used these the most. These are called the M-Pact gloves by Mechanix, and they are outstanding. When I reviewed the originals years ago, I saw a lot of comments from TMPers, subscribers to the project, that mentioned that. They say, hey, nice gloves, but I want backside protection. Several of them were soldiers serving over at the time in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they like that. Welcome to the M-Pact. These, of course, in Coyote, available in all different colors. I think they offer it in some wild black and yellow racing versions, and actually they'll vary this protection, this rubber protection on the backside. You can get whatever color you want, at least while they offer it. This is a glove that a lot of guys want. It's going to be heavier, actually about twice the weight. This large size is 5.4 ounces, the M-Pact. So again, here we go again, the old firepower versus mobility discussion of Nutnfancy. You want more capabilities, you're going to take more weight. And what you get more capabilities, obviously, is more hand protection with the M-Pact. You can smack some dude in the face and maybe not bust your knuckles up. Look at the coverage you get on here. And one thing I love about it, and this is so Mechanix, is that everything is executed so precisely. In other words, I've seen a lot of other M-Pact gloves, to include from Blackhawk, Hatch, and some others, and they just seem, I don't know, like hockey gloves. There's too much. There's too much plastic. It looks gaudy. It adds too much bulk and weight. I ain't seen it here. I'm not going to say they're as light as the original or the vent coverts. They're not. They're twice weight once again. But it's about as trim as you can make it and still get that style of hand protection. Knuckle protection on that rubber strip. And they're not obnoxious to the point where you're losing dexterity. So these are great cold weather weapon gloves. And guys who've been following TMP for a while know that we as a group have been waiting for something like that. I know some really awesome TMPers have given me some suggestions. I've tried them and they have failed me. I didn't like them. I think one of them was Youngstown. Tried them. They just did not have the dexterity. The M-Pacts by Mechanix, I think, will have the dexterity. I've only shot with them one time and it was fine. But until I take it out into really cold conditions, I really won't know. I'm expecting good things. Along with the package of the M-Pact is you're going to get a thicker fabric back. It's almost like it's insulated on the back here. You have the old style wrist strap, which honestly I prefer, just like on the original that I showed you. A rubber closure grab, and then it has this parachute cord carabiner loop, which I absolutely love, because you can clip it on a number of things. You can have like a mini carabiner, just clip it to your LBE. That takes us to the palm, and they call these inserts here, these are double fabric palms, not fabric, but double Clarino palms. And they call these inserts Poron XRD, 2mm in thickness. And mountain biking with these things, which I did do, they rock. In fact, they beat my glove, or my gel gloves that I was wearing, because some of the trails that Tactical Doodle and I go down are so bumpy, and I'm leaning so far forward. As we have discussed, some TMPers and I, in my mountain biking, intermediate mountain biking series, I needed something to absorb the shock. They're heavier, but man, they really do the job right here. I don't think they're so thick though, they get in the way of grasping a gun. These inserts right here. And then you have rubberized palm inserts here and on the index finger. I am a little bit worried about, maximum dexterity with that. Pushing small buttons, safeties, whatever, picking up small parts, 22 shells of stuff that you see us doing in TMP for years. On the upside, you may not have to worry so much about finger blowout because they're going to be reinforced. They're going to be tougher. Still have the Lycra sides to pull those fingers together. There's still no excess fabric in the webs of your fingers. The fit is excellent. And the way I judge that for me is, would I drive with those gloves? That's what I ask myself. I'm not saying I would choose these as a driving glove, but are they tight enough where I feel like I can really feel the steering wheel, I can gear shift with them? And if the answer is yes, then I know it's a pretty squared away glove. To me, this is a heavy duty version of this glove, the original. So if this isn't enough for you, look to the M-Pact, and I think you'll be very, very pleased. Price on these is going to be more though, as you can expect. It's got, again, the palm inserts, double Clarino palm. It's thicker in the back. It's reinforced through the fingers, as I've shown you. Still well under $50, and I've seen tactical gloves, as we've talked about on the camera for years, well above $60, and I think that's ridiculous. These gloves will do as good as any protective rubber guarded tactical glove that I've ever seen and worn personally. I think it's a great winter shooting choice. That is the M-Pact by Mechanix. And then we talked about the Fastfit. Those are also outstanding. The original vent covert by Mechanix. One that I'm not showing you here is they have another one. It's an M-Pact style. I don't have it, but it has like plastic knuckles over it. I don't see a need for that. This, for me, would give me all the protection I need. And also, mountain bikers, if you bang into some trees, I don't know, limbs and stuff, this will give you some nice protection. I still say that overall the best for most, not all activities in the world are these ones right here. That's the old style. Here's a new style. The originals by Mechanix. They're still very affordable. And by the way, I think the Fastfits are going to be, I didn't really check. I think like 18 bucks or something. And then I'll annotate where I recommend to go get them. And then about the same for the coverts. The coverts will probably be a little bit more. And I still think these are about under 20. But things are changing, man. Everything's going up. Even the newer version of the original is a huge win, even with this this wrist strap right here. I just love these gloves. Highly recommended. They are probably the best glove value in the world still as 2012 comes to an end. I love them. That's the Nutnfancy review. Good luck, guys, in your adventures. Protect your hands. See ya. Look at this. There. Scrolling right up that slope.
This is nothing now.